To be fair, man, this is something that I've wanted since I started to pick up the game. And it wasn't took me a while to really adapt to that position, and especially when you watch the game, you realize how pivotal and how important that left tackle position is. And I'd be doing my fellow linemen disservice if I didn't mention them, because without those fellas that I play with, day in and day out, those guys have got me to a standard where, like you just said, that franchise left tackle, that all that jazz. And for me, it's just an incredible feeling, because I wasn't trying to get rid of the rugby player can play. I just wanted to be seen as the football player, as a left tackle. And I think the only way that I could do that is by showing everyone that I can play in this league and play at a high level. And so for me to be doing this again for another year, this is an amazing feeling, man. I'm truly humbled, truly blessed to be in the position that I am today. Being coached by Coach Stout is another thing that excelled my playing. He holds the room to a high standard of play, execution, and technique. And without my line mates, without Coach Stout, man, I'd just be another rugby player trying to play this game. I've always got room to improve, man. My game can grow 10 times every year. My knowledge on the game, identifying coverages and seeing the blitz, kind of get into the mind of like a QB. That's the standard of play that we play at in the Eagles for offensive linemen. So, for me, I know that technique-wise, there's so much I can still learn. There's some plays where I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at myself real blunt and being like, that was pretty crap. That was a pretty crap rep. How can I get better? And so, sit down there with Landon, talk about it. Sit down there with Lane Johnson, talk about it, and identify ways where we're not put in such a I can't say that word, in such a bad way, bad position. Never want to be in a bad position. So now I can always learn. I'm always learning from my mistakes, and always trying to adapt my game to, the team that we're playing, the person that we're playing against. There's always something that you can always improve and change. So I always have a growth mindset, and that's just me. Man, I expect Jalen to ball out, man. He's come such a long way in such a short time, man. He's learned so many lessons. And for him to just keep pushing and keep the ball rolling is one thing that I've noticed as a leader that he truly embraces when it comes to accountability. He's always the first one to put his hand up when there's a mistake. And he's also the first one to not make that mistake again, and really just encourage others to hold themselves accountable and hold them to a high standard. I love that man. Love that man. Respect him so much because of the hard work I see him put in every day to be better than he was last year, and he knows that too. And so for that level of recognition and accountability to come from your QB1, it's what you want. Man, not much shadow, man. We're happy for him that, he still gets to play the game that he loves. He's always told me that he's going to keep going until he can't. So I'm not surprised that, he's still playing at 4 years old. Everybody's questioning him on his age, but he's like fine wine, dude. Dude gets better with age. And, man, I will never forget everything he taught me. My first 3 years here with him, he was an amazing mentor, man, Mr. Miyagi. It is going to be super weird seeing him in Dallas Cowboys outfit. Dan took a different route than I did. Played in college for 3 or 4 years, and played at a high level. It's the reason why he got drafted. They believe in him, and so he's very quick. A learning curve, because you'd see one snap he'd apply the wrong technique. The next snap he correct it. So he's very self-aware, and that's what you need to have, man. The growth mindset, be able to coach yourself at the same time. He's a big boy. Nobody's going to go through him, to get to his spot. Every alignment knows that we have a spot to get to meet the D end, and apply the technique to beat him. But I think he just needs to be a little bit more patient. But again, he's very self-aware. We hear the praise, and we're more of be where our feet are at. And thank God that all 5 guys are exactly like that. We don't listen to, oh, number one O-line, da-da-da, or whatever praise or whatever, negative comments are out there. We just know that every week is a new week. Every year there's a new scheme we're going up against. And so for us, we're just being where our feet are at right now. And it's, Detroit week 1. Some of them weren't surprised, because I always sing in the locker room. I'm always singing, and they're always doing the, we get it. You can sing, man. You can sing. You don't have to sing around us, dude. Come on, man. But I mean, that's just me. I love to sing, man. Music's always been a passion of mine that I've really embraced and helped me through some hard times here in the US. And yeah, some of them were just like, the first thing they asked me was, did you get paid? I was just like, what? It's like, what? I had a great time, man. Thanks. But yes, I did. Any other questions? Like, how much was it? I'm like, I'm not telling you. So AJ Brown is no bum, and so people have to respect the work that he's done in the league previous to us. They've had what was that, like a average of like over 1,000 yards per season until last year or something like that. I don't know the stats. You work for ESPN, you might know. You might know the real stat, but it's just an incredible relationship that they have off the field, and they're able to translate that onto the field too. Just the connection time, the awareness of where AJ is going to be. Hurts just knows. So it's just, you have a friendship like that off the field, and you're able to convert it on the field, and then have that the resume that AJ Brown has. He's a threat. People have to respect him in the run game and the pass game. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. It's sort of like rugby here in the States. They need to play it in order to excel. And I'm going out on a limb here and say that rugby in the US will be the US rugby team will be picking up some souls, man, in about 5 to 10 years, man. They're looking really good. It's because they invest. They want to be good at sports, and knowing the talent back home, man, I just know in 5 to 10 years, we keep this pathway open for kids in Australia to not see this sport as a waste of time. And, the stigma behind wearing pads and helmets is one way we have to educate our people, to be honest. You hit harder. They hit harder with pads on and a helmet. And, you're pretty lucky to be wearing some pads and a helmet too when you get hit. So, I think it's an incredible opportunity to, represent Australia, represent Samoa, and kind of, try and influence kids to come and play the sport, man. Because shoot, the talent down under is I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's just amazing. Y'all know. We all know what's down under. We've just got to harness that talent, harness the body, the bodies that we have down there, big fellas down there, big boppers. We just need to take the time to educate ourselves in the sport, invest in the sport. And, man, I'm telling you, that pipeline is just going to keep growing and growing to every single position, and not just punters and the trenches. I'm hoping to come home and, I'm trying to create a foundation here with my fiance. And, through that foundation, we want to hold some camps. And I plan on holding camps back home because like I said, I understand the raw talent, the raw size that we have back home. We just need somebody to believe in them, just like somebody did for me. The quote is, don't dip your toe in the water, drown in it, and learn how to swim. I truly believe in that. I think it's the only way you're going to survive is really if you just dive into it. That's what they did to me. And, that's kind of the mindset I had when I first came here, and then when I got drafted. They had the same mindset too. They didn't care that I didn't know how to get in a pass stance. It was just like, you're going to learn on the flow. I think any added advice going forward would probably be, one, be where your feet are at. Always be present. Always, be aware of where you are, your surroundings. Lean on people. And I think the other one would just be, there are going to be some dark days ahead, and when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's a train. So it's it's always going to be there's always going to be something coming at you, man, and you just got to learn to adapt and survive, man. So it's the truth. It's really the truth.